Good morning, welcome back to Hope on a Rope. I am the Virginia Creeper. Back up here on the Susquehanna River. Gonna see if I can catch a walleye or a striper this morning. First cast. It's a beautiful morning. Air temperatures around 52. Water temperatures in the 70s, so we got a beautiful fog that's coming off the river. Big full moon last night. These walleyes should be feeding. There he is. I'm not sure what I got. He ain't big, but there he is. Let's see what I got here. Looks like a little smallmouth. Yep, little smallie, but he got off. Little baby small jaw. We haven't had a lick of rain in weeks. This river's so low. The bulk of the stripers that are in the river right now are right up below the dam in the tail race, feeding on all the shad that's coming down through the dam. They've been wearing them out pretty good down at the park. All right, third spot. Only had 2 bites so far. Both were little tiny smallmouth. Man, it's beautiful out there with that fog. Just looks so cool. Beautiful morning out here. This will probably be my last trip up here for top water. There he is. There he is. Ah, got me in a rock. Got me in a rock. There we go, got him free. Let's see what we got here. He ain't made a run. Man, he got me hung up again. Feels like a string out there. It's got me on the string. There we go, what do we got here? We got us a little small jaw. That little rascal is getting me all kind of hung up out there. That bait's almost as big as he is. Pretty little fish. All right. Might be a smallmouth kind of morning. But typically where there's smallmouth, there'll be some walleyes hanging around too. It's been a bad year for me on walleyes up here. I don't know if their numbers are down or what's going on. Lots of grass and algae on these rocks. Water being so clear and low, the sun penetrates and it really grows quick. Big full moon up there. This fog is beautiful out here in the water. I brought a fly rod with me. Figured if the fishing was good, I was gonna try the fly. I'm still gonna try it. Since I packed it down that hill, I'm gonna use it. All right, guys. Got my 10 weight up here. I tied up some flat wings. They look really good in the water. I think it's going to be a really good striper fly. Should catch some smallmouth as well. If there are any stripers in here, we'll catch them. It's looking a little bleak this morning, but we'll get out here and do a little bit of casting. See how we do. See if I can get this over here a little better. See if I can wade out here just a little bit farther so I can actually do a back cast up here. There we go. I might actually be able to get up on this one. Go. I'm probably not in frame here, but anyway. There he is. That little small jaw on the fly. I guess he saw that come through there about 8 times. Finally hit the flat wing. There we go. Little small jaw. Hope you guys can see that from there. Go on back. I can hear the stripers feeding out there, but they're out in the main channel, which runs along the other side of the river. I can hear them feeding pretty good out there. And I can tell you one thing, that flatwing just looks beautiful in the water. That thing has got some action. All right, I beat this spot up pretty good. I don't know what else to do. I'll go upriver. Going up, maybe find some fish. Take one more cast here. There he is. There he is. Oh, he just broke me off. Well, that striper came completely out of the water for it. Okay, so I'm here in the pawpaw grove. So pawpaws around September start getting ripe and they fall to the ground and you can smell them. They're extremely sweet. But this is a very young pawpaw tree here. These are the leaves of a pawpaw. You can see they're big leaves, big broad leaves. But I don't know if you can see them up there. I don't know if I can zoom in on it, but this tree's full of them. This tree's full of them. But most of the time when they hit the ground, the deer get on them really quick. But a good way to get them down out of the tree is you just shake the tree and you see what falls. So this one over here looks pretty good. Let's give this tree a shake. I'm gonna shake this tree and see if we get some pawpaws to fall out of it. All right, there's a couple. So we got 3 of them here that fell out of the tree. You can see, whoops. You gotta be careful with them. They're a little soft. That's a little baby guy, but we'll see if we can get something out of him. But these 2 are bigger. As they ripen, they're like a banana. They'll start turning black. But a little Walmart bag here. See how many we can round up. Go around and do some tree shaking. You want to find your bigger pawpaws. Your taller ones will have more fruit on them. There they go. I hear them falling back here. There's one back here. If you're wondering why I'm in waders, I was fishing the river earlier, trying to catch some dinner, unsuccessfully. I did manage to get a couple smallmouths. And I had one good striper hit, but he beat me. He broke my line. So, all right, there's another one there. I'm gonna shake a few more of these trees and see what we come up with here. All right, once you shake the tree, then it's almost like a little Easter egg hunt. And you gotta go looking for them. But you also wanna watch out for copperheads, especially around a big log like this. But it's been cold this morning. I don't think they'll be attacking anybody. Let's see here, I heard a couple fall. There's one there. These are on the smaller side, but beggar can't be chooser. You can smell how sweet they are. They're really giving off a sweet aroma. And if you've never eaten PawPaws, they're like a cross between a mango and a banana. And they're very tasty. All right. Oh, there's one right there. They like to get in they get stuck in the middle of the greenbrier. If you find them on the ground, you can eat them. Because they probably haven't been there that long. Normally, as soon as they get on the ground, there's a critter gonna eat them. Come on out of there. Here's one. And that's about the average size, about the size of a pear. Sometimes you can get really big ones. That's a good one. We're getting a good start. These PawPaws, you can harvest them and actually freeze them, and you can use the pulp. You know, later on you can make PawPaw bread and PawPaw ice cream. Freezes very well. Oh, here's one over here, right there, out in the open. Like I said, it's almost like a little Easter egg hunt. They smell so good. All right. But the fruit, it really blends in with the leaves. It's the same exact color as the leaves. So it's hard to see if a tree has a bunch on it. And it's a cluster fruit, so they will grow in a cluster of 4 or 5 together. Here's one here. And this one's got ants all over it, already got a borehole in it, so that one's a goner. But when you see one on the ground, you gotta look up. That means their tree has fruit-bearing tree. I see a couple little tiny ones on this one. Let's give it a shake and see what happens. And there's one. Normally, if they're ripe, oop, that one almost got me in the head. Got 3 out of that tree. But yeah, normally, if they're ripe, they'll fall right off the tree when you give it a shake. And I've seen other guys use fruit pickers, like the little thing on the pole, to get apples. Little guy there. And then you can go up and grab them with those pickers. But I find just giving that tree a good old shake always works out pretty good for me. All right, I don't need many more. Only need one. You got to get the seeds out of them, and then I need about 3 cups of the actual fruit. They call it pulp. But about 3 cups will be good. And then I'll come back next week and get some more for the freezer. But I got all my fishing equipment with me right now. I don't really want to carry a bunch of PawPaws out of the woods. I was fishing a new spot upriver. because I knew there was a PawPaw stand up here. And yeah, so far so good. I'm doing well. But yeah, we'll get a few more on the way out. So there's a good shot of the cluster of them. There's 3 of them on there, and then there's more up above it. But that kind of cluster is what you're looking for. Those are some healthy pawpaws. I'm gonna see if I can knock them down, but got this big greenbrier bush here, so I'm gonna try and knock them down to where they don't fall into that. But let's see how that goes. All right, let's see. How are we gonna get them out of that greenbrier? Yep. They all kind of landed right in that greenbrier. Let's see if I can at least reach a few in there. You can see them all laying back in there. There's a couple out here on the fringe. You gotta leave some for the critters. Let's see if I can poke in here and get these without cutting my waders all up too bad. Yeah, that's a good one right there. And they fill your palm up. That's a good pawpaw. That little guy. Now let's see here. I can get me a stick. Just maybe manipulate this one over here. Come here, one more. All right, and I can't get those. They're too deep in the greenbrier. But we got 3 of them. Let's check over here. Make sure none fell on this side. I don't see any. There we go. We're getting a few. My basket's getting heavy. I'm using my fly fishing stripping basket as a pawpaw holder. But yeah, it's fun. It's fun collecting pawpaws. Like I said, it's almost like an Easter egg hunt. All right, let's move a little farther. If I can get 6 or 7 more, that should be plump. Here's one over here. They're just all over the place. That one's been chewed on. You can see the bugs have got to it already. So, can't use that one. Let's see. I like to find the trees that are out in the open like this, because then when you find the pawpaws, like that one right there, they're not in them greenbrier thickets. Let's see. Oh, that one's really ate up. Okay. But that tells me there's some on that tree right there. Man, they blend in good. I never hardly can see them unless they're low. But let's give this tree a shake and we'll see what happens. Good thing is they're soft wood and the tree's pretty easy to shake. Nope, I think that one lost all its fruit already. I don't see any or hear any falling. And I don't see any on that one either. It's funny, some of them will lose their fruit really quick, and then others will be weeks later. I don't know, it's probably got something to do with the sunlight getting through the canopy. That'd be my guess. The fruit just ripens quicker. Just found a bunch here. We'll pick up a few more. These are kind of low up here on the tree. See if I can get them off of there relatively easy. I like when they're not, when they don't drop into the greenbriers. Makes it easy. But this tree right here, this is one of the straightest pawpaw trees I've ever seen. Let's see if there's any in it. Oh yeah. So here's one that ants had just started getting into the side, but I'm going to show you. You just kind of break them open, and that's the color that's in it. The seeds are big, so they're easy to pick out. But man, it smells just like mango. You want them to get a little dark like this. Really good. Like if you like mango, you will like PawPaws. You don't eat the skin, and you don't eat the seeds, obviously. But man, that is good. All right. Now I made a mess of myself. That's what they look like. Tastes very good. Okay, let me pack all this up, and we're gonna get out of here. So if you are anywhere on the East Coast, near a watershed, near a river, near a creek, you got pawpaws. You just gotta get out and find them. And like I said, that's what the leaves look like. This is what the bark looks like. And that's what the fruit looks like. Right there. September, all the way into pretty much the end of September, you will find these pawpaws dropping fruit. But they got big, broad leaves, and you can just smell it when they start dropping. You can just smell that sweet banana flavor in the air. Banana smell. Mango. It smells like mango is what it smells like. Okay, let's get out of here. All right, so I ended up with a bag full of pawpaws. It's probably about, they're heavy fruits. It's probably about 6-7 pounds. And then on the way out, stumbled across another 6 there. So that's what you're looking for. That's a really ripe pawpaw. But yeah. I'm gonna get on home and I'll show you how we take care of these. Here are my pawpaws. And as you can see, since I've picked them, they have started to turn black. Just like a banana, they'll turn black as they get sweeter. Some of them are green, haven't turned black yet, but the blacker and darker they are, the sweeter they'll be. But that's a decent haul for what I want to do. You can go out and get as much as you want. The pulp freezes really well. I'm going to show you how we process these, get the seeds out of them, and then I'm going to show you some cool recipes. Alright, so the easiest way to get the fruit out of these is to score them. Some people like to peel them when they're a little firmer, but man, you can't peel them when they're this soft. And then you can just kind of squeeze the skin right off. I'm going to take that off. I'm going to take this off. darker they are, the softer the skin is. But you want to make sure you get all the skin off. So there's your PawPaw thin skin. And let me show you here inside are seeds. And the pulp really likes to cling to the seeds here. But that'd be a good one to plant. So we're gonna end up saving a bunch of seeds. But alright, I'm not gonna bore you with skinning all these. I'll show you a few. High speed. Okay, so as I'm peeling these, let me tell you a little bit about the PawPaws. They're really important to the Native Americans. Tribes like the Shawnee and the Iroquois used them as medicine as well as food. They're kind of a tropical fruit. They're in the custard apple family, and they're the only temperate kind of tropical fruit. They kind of look tropical with those big broad leaves. But yeah, I'm just cutting these up here and not really worrying about the seeds right now. Gonna show you how we get the seeds out. We got a special little technique to do that. But yeah, you're gonna need yourself either a food processor or a mixer, stand mixer. And I'll show you what we do with that. And then I'm gonna show you how we make some PawPaw bread. So here I'm mixing it with the stand mixer. I'm using the whisker. The dough hook doesn't work as well, but the whisker does. And then you just kind of push it through a colander. You're going to push all the pulp through, which leaves the seeds and any little bits of skin. The skin's really bitter. You don't want to have any of that skin in there. But yeah, you can save these seeds, and man, they are really prolific. So if you ever want to plant your own PawPaws, you can do that. I think they sell for about $7 a pound at the farmer's market. So yeah, they're good to have around. So it might take you a couple batches here. You might want to get yourself a larger hold colander. This one was kind of fine, and it took a little bit of time, but we got it through. The good thing about the PawPaw custard is, unlike a banana or an apple, it doesn't brown. So once you get it all smushed through here, it's going to stay nice and yellow. You don't have to add any acidic acid with a lemon or anything like that. If this is your first time stopping by, thanks for joining me. If you've been here before, thanks for coming back. Consider subscribing and giving me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. So here we go. We're going to add in a cup of white sugar, a teaspoon of cinnamon, and into that we're going to put a cup of melted butter, and we're going to mix that for a while. And always want to mix your wet ingredients first. So we're going to get all that incorporated, and then we're going to put in, for 2 loaves of the PawPaw bread, I'm going to use about 2 cups of PawPaw pulp or puree once it's been mixed. So we're going to go ahead and get that in there, and then into that I'm going to add a half cup of Greek yogurt. You can use vanilla if you want, either one, whatever you have on hand. And then behind the Greek yogurt, you're going to add 2 eggs. And for taste, and there's Gippy down there getting anything that drops on the floor. But yeah, to taste, we're going to put in a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Always use the pure vanilla. Don't use that cheap, trashy imitation vanilla. Tastes just like you're putting a shot of alcohol in it. And then on top of that, once that gets mixed, you're going to put in 2 1/4 cups of flour, 1 1/2 tablespoons of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon salt, and 1 cup of chopped walnuts, chocolate chips, whatever have you. I'm partial to walnuts. I kind of like raisins in mine as well, but we didn't have any raisins this evening, so we're just going to do some walnuts. So once you get it all mixed like this, and you get your flour in there, the last little bit, don't mix it. It's going to make your bread really tough. You just want to kind of fold the dry ingredients in. So fold them all in. You can have all your flour, your baking soda, your salt. You can have all that in one container and just dump it in at the end. But you kind of mix that in till you're almost completely mixed. The more you fold this, the tougher your bread's going to be. If you want a really nice tender bread, fold it as least as possible. So once the nuts go in, there's still a little bit of flour. That's when you're going to finish this off nice and slow. Just be gentle with it, fold it, and you are going to love this bread. So in a minute, I'm going to show you a little hack that we have to make sure your bread comes out of the bread pans perfectly every time, and it's so easy to get them out. Go ahead and spray your bread pans with some Pam or whatever you like, cooking spray, and then put some parchment paper in there. Give it a little shot of that on top of the parchment paper, and then you're just kind of going to scoop in your PawPaw bread mix. I don't think this is the way the Native Americans did it, but I'm going to call it PawPaw Indian bread because I'm part Indian and I'm going to eat it, so it's my bread, not making it. So once you get that all in, kind of smooth it out, fill in any of the areas, and you want to kind of just tamp it down a little bit to get it to set so there's no air holes on it. Get yourself some light brown sugar and cover the top with that brown sugar. You're making PawPaw bread here. You're not trying to be healthy. So get you some light brown sugar. Just sprinkle it all on top. You're going to preheat your oven to about 300 degrees. Then you're going to slide them in there. And it typically takes just about an hour to cook these. So after about an hour, you're going to check them. If the toothpick comes out clean, they are ready. Put them on a cooling rack. Let them cool off, and then I'm going to show you how you get them out of these pans. So easy once they cool down. Look at this, boom, right out of there. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Go ahead and put them in some Tupperware. I guarantee you one of these ain't going to make it tonight. The other one we'll have it later. I like when it's warm, and the only time I do it is when it's warm. I'll put some butter on my piece. I love me a nice end piece. PawPaw bread, the best is the end piece. Look at the beautiful color on that. Instead of banana bread, it is PawPaw bread, and it's got a really beautiful orange color. Put yourself a little dollop of butter on there. Let that start to melt while you put everything away. And I'm about to make a mess of myself here, but who cares? This is my video, and I'm making it. I can have a dirty face. Alright, little piece, I get a little end of it, and here we go. The final result. That is some good stuff right there. Thank you.